I'd see him sitting on that couch all day long, just staring at that Hollywood hogwash.
Our favorite show was Hollywood Hogwash.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Hollywood Hogwash. I'm Andrew Pisano, along with my brother Joe Pisano, Josh Reese, and Aaron Rosa. Hey, why didn't you guys tell me about this movie?
Andrew, you're breaking your own rules.
Yeah.
Dude,
Sure, I'd love to be Swayze in this movie. He was the best one.
we've been pushing this since last summer, I think.
Oh, a long time.
Yeah, I feel if anything, Andrew's the one that's been ducking this for some reason. I mean, come on, this is a great movie, and I'm glad you finally saw it.
We're all gonna have movies we missed, right? Like we just either we're too young or too old, and like we just didn't see them. I've got a plenty on my list, but this one is just one of those. It's so bad it's good situations, and I know you love those.
Oh my God, those are my favorite movies.
Yeah, we did Demolition Man earlier.
Demolition Man was amazing. Yes. I would say Demolition Man is like, in the grand scheme of things, way better than this movie.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you could take it a little more seriously than you can with Keanu Reeves learning how to act in this movie.
Right in front of us.
He's growing up right in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
He's not doing a great job, but he's learning.
The whole movie is like a 1991 action fever dream. It's
Right.
just beautifully disgusting and awesome
Like
at
how,
the same time.
How close do you think Keanu Reeves like came to just being a porn actor? Like, because this was Keanu Reeves in this movie was like it was porn caliber acting by him.
It was.
Hey, what's up, brah? Like, it was so bad.
Hey, Bodie.
Did people say brah a lot in the 80s?
I guess.
I think that was a Californian thing.
The Californians.
Surfer culture, bro.
Yeah, Point Break came out in 91, but again, this is still like it's a very 80s movie, of course.
It's easy to forget, like getting so deep into the John Wick franchise.
Yes.
that this is what this dude used to be.
I know.
Was
We just did the best action hero bracket, which is available right now at patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. Lots of arguments. And obviously Keanu Reeves is on the bracket. I won't spoil anything, but he might have been a little lower for me if I saw this movie first.
What? I was gonna ask if you wanted to adjust your rankings, and maybe we might have different champion. Who knows?
It definitely brings him down from the Matrix and the John Wick franchise.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, look, he's great at skydiving. I'll say that.
I'm honestly surprised you don't love Keanu in this on like a Nick Cage level.
Right.
Because this is like Nick Cage 90s.
For sure. It's so bad it's good.
Yeah, I mean, Nicolas Cage, though, is kind of the opposite direction. Like, Nicolas Cage overacts.
Right.
And in this, Keanu Reeves, like, underacts.
Underacts.
It's like, don't show
No
any
reaction.
emotion.
No.
Your fucking partner just died.
Ah.
Hey, I want you to not care at all about that.
Yes.
I couldn't care less.
The
Yeah.
movie before this was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So, I mean, come on. I mean, he's going from crazy and zany to crazy and zany.
Well, I mean, look, all they had to do in those Bill and Ted movies was go, whoa, excellent. I mean, it's not a lot.
You can
didn't
see
have to
why
do
he was
much.
cast.
But
It's
think
funny
about-
how Keanu was the one that became the star when it was Bill's character that was, like the one that was in charge.
Alex
now,
Winter.
yeah, now he doesn't look like Keanu Reeves, so
No.
that's probably why.
But you got to think of the trajectory of his career, because you had really the first thing I think you would have, like, anyone saw him in was Dangerous Liaisons with John Malkovich, Uma Thurman.
okay.
He was young.
Right.
Then Bill and Ted
Yeah.
came out. Then you had Parenthood, and he was actually kind of funny in that.
Okay.
I think he was dating one of the daughters.
Yeah.
Then you go to this movie.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Then
that
Bogus Journey. Then My Own Private Idaho. Like, to think that he becomes John Wick is still
Yeah, I know.
pretty crazy
To think
at
that
this
becomes
point.
Neo 8 years after Point Break.
Is that right?
Yes.
Jesus.
And then
Didn't
Bram
you do that-
Stoker's Dracula
I was just
was
gonna say,
92.
didn't you do that Dracula movie like
Yep.
soon after this too?
8 years
Yeah.
after Point Break, The
Yeah.
Matrix.
Yep.
Holy shit.
hey, he learned very quickly. You know, I didn't realize it was
Well, no,
only
you know
8
how in
years.
The Matrix you plug in to learn martial arts. You also
That's
learn how to
right.
act when you get plugged in.
But you learn a lot standing next to Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, I mean, not that he had to do a lot of acting in The Matrix. It was mostly just punch and kick people. He did that great.
I don't think there was one bruh in the Matrix. There might have been a couple whoas.
Well, there's the whoa.
There's a
Yeah,
whoa.
exactly.
you know,
All
when
the
he
guns.
jumps over the building. Whoa.
Whoa.
But yeah, this is an amazing, one of the best bad movies ever, and we're gonna break it down in full detail. I have a lot of questions about this movie, and maybe we'll get some answers.
All right.
I'm very excited. But again, go check out our best action hero bracket. It's out now at patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. Again, it was a lot of fun. Go check it out. All right. Before we get to Point Break, let's cover the news and rumors, aka the Hollywood Hogwash. Well, we didn't do a show last week because of the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and the first Deadpool and Wolverine trailer dropped
Oh boy.
during the first Super Bowl.
There's probably a button you
Or
can hit
during
for
the-
that.
Absolutely.
Bust a nut.
Not the first Super Bowl. I think it was the first commercial break.
Because
Or
I
maybe
missed
right
it.
before the kickoff.
I
It
feel
was
like I
either right
missed it.
before or right after.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh my gosh. This trailer set a new record with 365 million views in 24 hours.
Damn.
Broke the record. I forgot who had it, but yeah, that's a new record.
365 million?
So
In
it's
the first 24
crap.
hours.
it's not that there's a superhero fatigue. It's more that there's too much superhero shit.
It's
And
a-
that when you finally see something, you're like, holy shit, I need to see more of it.
It's a quality fatigue.
Yes.
That's what it really is.
Wow.
Am I remembering right that Deadpool broke some records for R-rated movie box
course.
office?
No, I think we talked about it last week. I mean, Deadpool 1 and 2 have to be up there for biggest R-rated. It's probably number one.
And this is going to blow the first one out of the water for sure.
Oh, of course.
Like, not even close.
Yeah,
Oh,
we get
God.
just highest grossing R-rated movies. I remember
Probably
Hangover had it at the time.
Probably Passion of the Christ
Oh my
is
God.
number one,
Joker's
right?
one.
Joker is one.
And Oppenheimer's two.
Oh,
So
there you go.
Joker's over $1 billion. Oppenheimer.
And before that, it was Deadpool 2 and then Deadpool 1.
Yeah. Exactly. Very neck and neck. Look at that. 3 million difference.
Yeah.
Deadpool 3 coming for that record.
It's
bruh.
funny how
Oh, yeah.
it's been so long. Like movies they're just now realizing that you can make huge hits with R-rated movies.
Right.
You know, that's what they were afraid of with Deadpool, but then Deadpool did amazing. So yeah, this trailer was awesome. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do a watch along or anything like that when it came out. But there's just like Point Break, there's a lot of unanswered questions in this trailer. It looks like we're gonna meet multiple Wolverine variants.
Yeah.
I know me and Joe have been watching some YouTube videos where they overanalyze these trailers. I didn't even know that there was a Wolverine that is basically like James Bond.
I did not.
I did not know that.
No.
Aaron, did you know about that?
Nope.
Yeah, that's when he's walking to the Wolverine, like sitting what looks like a casino. Like that's apparently like a James Bond type
Yeah.
Wolverine, which
Right.
is amazing. And people are wondering if that's going to be Hugh Jackman,
Yeah.
Or-
Some people are saying it could
Can we
be
say it?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Because
Daniel
that's
Radcliffe.
Yeah, that's been the rumor for a long, long time.
For so long, fans were like, if they ever recast Wolverine, like a lot of fans said Daniel Radcliffe, which I don't really understand that.
I will say it's a thin Wolverine. So
Right.
Yeah. So
Well, I'll say this. I mean, there's been a few castings in my life where Michael Keaton for Batman, Heath
Yeah.
Ledger as the Joker, where you're just like, no way. And then you're just like, wow. So you never know. That's all I'll
never
say.
know.
Maybe they'll bring him in this. And if the fans love it and they go, ooh, this variant can be
Right.
the Wolverine that takes over the Marvel MCU, then sure.
That's going to be a tough task for sure.
Of course.
I mean, people forget in the first X-Men movie, Hugh Jackman was not ripped. He was kind of thin and slight.
Yeah.
He was not.
Also, no one really liked him in the first X-Men movie because he didn't fucking do shit.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Like he didn't even stab anyone. Then X2 came out and he's stabbing everyone. We're like, all right, he's cool.
did he not stab one person in the first movie?
I don't think so. Maybe like,
Just a couple swipes.
yeah, like, oh my God, that fight with Sabretooth on the fucking
Statue of Liberty.
It was so bad. Yeah. So also, like, I've watched this trailer so many times. I'm pretty sure Wade and Vanessa are broken up in
That's
the
what it
beginning
looks
of this
like.
movie
Yeah.
because she tells him like Make-A-Wish buddy instead. She usually calls him Red.
And right before
and
that-
it looked like it was a friend, like, hey, Make-A-Wish buddy.
Yeah.
And then also there's a couple of shots where it looks like they just finished up having a very difficult conversation. He looks sad.
I don't like these situations to where it's like, look, you died and he went back in time and saved your life.
Yeah.
And you loved him. Like, what would break up that relationship?
Right.
That's kind
I
of
imagine, yeah, my guess would be it's him, like, I'm not going to bring you down with me. Or I don't know, something like that.
Or it could be like a Gamora. You know, Gamora came back and she didn't know that.
Yeah,
she
but
loved him.
this was the same Vanessa though. Yeah, it was the Vanessa that was in love with him and knew him and everything.
Interesting.
So I doubt they're going to go that road. That's a pet peeve of mine in movies, like sequels where they finally fall in love and then every movie they break up and have to get back together.
Right.
Which they've done in every Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
In Deadpool 1,
Die Hard did that. He was
Die
always
Hard.
broken up with his wife and would get back together with her at the end of the movie.
National Treasure 2, they're broken up. They have to fall in love with. Spider-Man 3, they break up and you know what I mean? Like it's just it's overdone and it's like
right.
So obviously I don't think the main story is going to be about them. And there's rumors that she's going to become a hero because she does in the comics and everything. But
Right.
Also, speaking of X2, Pyro from X2 is in this movie and he's
Is he in the
playing
trailer?
Pyro. Yeah.
You do see him?
Yeah, it's been like 20 years and he's older. He's the guy that's like, God, I love this part.
That's the same
Yeah,
actor?
It's the same actor.
Really? Wow.
It's him.
Wow, that's great casting.
Yeah,
Well, what's he doing?
I'm glad they didn't change that.
right. And then also the villain is supposedly going to be Professor X's sister, who's
Yeah.
evil.
And again, I don't know if you know
I don't
this,
really know much about her,
but he sensed in the womb, this is his twin. In the womb, he sensed how evil she was. So he tried to kill her as an infant. I don't even, what do you call that?
I guess, yeah.
Embryo?
Embryo, yeah. And he failed, so she came out all deformed. But she still has all of his powers, and now she's mad. So that's apparently the origin of
It is like a hot actress playing her, so I wonder if they deformed her face. And yeah.
someone we know.
Like a little bit. She's not that famous, I think. She's been in like a couple things. I forget her name, but
Why, you looked it up and she's listed on the credits?
well, ever since this movie was being filmed, they were like, she's playing the villain. Like that's what they've always said. But yeah. And then also some people think Doctor Doom is that one guy with the mask and gun.
No way.
People
No
are
chance.
speculating about
Well,
that.
looks like Doctor Doom.
If there's no chance Doctor Doom uses a gun, though, so I find that hard to believe.
Yeah,
Well,
but
maybe
it's a
this-
variant.
I
a
think
variant, an early version.
I know at the end of the trailer there's a picture of a comic book on the ground,
Yeah.
which is Doctor Doom related, but
Right.
I still have a hard time believing that Doom is going to be using a gun, even if it's a variant. Aaron,
We'll see.
Back me up, Aaron.
I mean, I'd have to agree.
I mean, it's kind of surprising that they've waited this long to even have Doctor Doom in the MCU.
Well, I mean, it has to be Doctor Doom going forward, especially without He Who Remains. So, I mean, Doctor Doom has to be coming up soon.
He Who Rapes.
He-
More
Sorry,
women.
He Who
More
Rapes.
women have
More
now
women
come
are coming
forward.
out.
Like just recently. So yeah, He Who Rapes is fucked. He's gonna.
We
be
found
he.
out in Loki he's an amazing actor.
I know.
Damn it.
Yeah. Right.
Before we moved off Deadpool, I did want to share that there's a new poster that came out with Deadpool, Wolverine, and bracelets.
Friendship bracelets.
Friendship bracelets.
In a heart.
Which is leading to speculation, of course, that Taylor Swift is involved in this movie. Because
right.
Taylor Swift is big on the friendship bracelets.
If they kill her, yeah, that'd be great.
You never
She's
know.
a terrible actress. So, I mean, look, I trust Ryan Reynolds, right? I mean, he's done very well with the first two Deadpool movies, so I'll just say that. But yeah, you mentioned that Secret Wars comic. That's, supposedly, I mean, we've talked about this before, but, that Deadpool and Wolverine might be like, the stars of the next two Avengers films.
But I'm fine with that.
I'm absolutely fine
I don't
with
think
that.
Hugh Jackman continues as Wolverine after this.
Sure, he does. He said the reason why he didn't want to is because he had to keep being so buff, and he was like, "It's getting harder at my age." But now they're actually putting the fucking suit on him,
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to be completely jacked anymore.
And
And you
it's-
just pad that costume.
And in three movies, it'll just be CGI anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
He'll just have Robert Downey Jr.'s just all CGI his whole costume. So yeah, really excited about this. I'm currently building a time machine to take me to July 26th. And
Nice. Yeah.
As soon as it's ready, I'll let you guys know.
That's gonna go so slow.
I immediately thought of Cartman, who couldn't wait for the Nintendo Wii, and he froze himself in the mountains.
See, you're gonna go too far ahead.
But then he goes like 2,000 years into the future, or whatever,
Oh no!
and has to fuck with the otters, who are fighting over which atheist religion is better.
That was really an underrated.
Oh my god, it's one of the best
South Park.
It's
That
one
was
of the
good.
best South Park episodes. Yeah. Also, the first trailer for X-Men '97 came out.
Awesome.
It looks like the old cartoon, but it also doesn't look like the old cartoon. Like it's a little more modern, a little more like computerized, I guess. And the plot is Professor X is dead, because in the series finale originally, I looked this up. Professor X got shot.
Oh.
And then he was like in the hospital, and they didn't know whether he was going to die or not. And that's how the series ended. And then the trailer confirms that Professor X died. And then at the end of the trailer, Magneto's like, all of Charles Xavier's assets now belong to me.
Oh no, he left it all to the worst guy on the planet.
Or Magneto, I
They
guess.
were
tricked
friends at
someone.
one point.
These are
Yeah.
all yours, old friend.
Right. Yeah, this comes out March 20th, so it's right around the corner.
The end scene when you have Gambit on the back of Wolverine and he's using
Yeah.
his claws, I almost busted a nut. It was just
Sure.
amazing. I love that so much.
Right. At least we'll have a cool Cyclops again.
Well, and then the Cyclops busts out with the to me my X-Men. So cool.
Yeah.
So good.
Right. Definitely give this a shot when it drops on Disney Plus.
And I
March
believe
20th.
this is going to be like PG-13 R-ish, right?
It seems, yes. I
Yeah.
think not R. I think it's going to be like a TVMA type deal. Or
Yeah, I think so.
know what I mean?
So I'm kind of excited for that too.
Yeah.
Because I'm happy that Marvel's starting to get a little bit more edgier with all this stuff. So that's kind of nice.
Right. Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, pegging isn't new for me, friendo.
There you go.
Oh God.
But it is for Disney.
That's right. Thank you. I didn't know if Joe got that.
Yeah, the Deadpool line is great. By the way, I love how Ryan Reynolds is wearing that horrible wig in the beginning of the trailer. It's fucking hilarious. Like this is his normal life. And then the TVA comes and rips it right off his head.
And it's gone.
So fucking great. Also, the trailer for Invincible Season 2 Part 2 is out. The show's coming back March 14th, so we still have a few weeks before we're going to be reviewing those on our Patreon.
Yes.
But looks crazy.
I'm in a comic book store today. It was like it's a big sign that said going out of business. It's like, let me look to see if they have any cool toys or any cool stuff I want to
Yeah.
get on discount. And in there they had the Invincible comic, like book comic, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this looks like it was drawn from the cartoon, right? And he's
Right.
like, yeah, it's just the cartoon. And I'm flipping through it, and I'm towards the end, and I'm like, wait, is this everything we're gonna see too? And he goes, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm like, oh! And I push it back into the shelf, and he goes, yeah, sorry, I should have warned you of that. Like, it just shows you, like, I wonder why they do that. They spoil everything in a book, and that had to have been printed when? That it's on a shelf in a discount comic store.
Well, I mean, did you have the trade paperback? Because the whole comic series has already been written.
I get all that, but you could tell this was like the exact way he looks in the cartoon. So was it like, I mean, it looked like the cartoon exactly. You know what I mean?
I mean, the comic looked very similar to this.
Yeah.
Maybe there was some kind of like theatrical show version
Reprint
they made
or
or
something?
something.
I've never
A reprint?
seen,
I
I've
don't
never,
know.
and I obviously never read any of the comics. So I was flipping through it. It was like very much the stories that we saw. Because there's a lot of, I guess there's some difference between the comic and the, anyway, whatever it was, I didn't want to spoil it for myself. Because I flipped to see his dad with those people and he hugs them after he left, that we just saw recently.
Oh, the crickets.
I mean, these say that these
Yeah.
are like the original comics. It looks,
It's the second one.
yeah, I think these are just like the original comics.
I think you probably just picked up a trade paperback of the series.
I think so.
Wow. Well,
Yeah, I mean, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
and that's the one good thing about it, Invincible, is that they pretty much do it just by the comics.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's a cartoon, you could do that.
Right.
But
Well, there's so many Marvel cartoons that just
mean,
are
they-
like, well, do whatever you guys want.
They changed a lot. I know that they changed a lot from The Boys, which is, both are Seth Rogen. Walking Dead changed a lot of stuff. So,
they had to, yeah.
yeah. But March 14th, we'll see how it all wraps up. There's so much, left. Like, they showed Omni-Man getting interrogated by one of his own, and the guy's like, Like, how could you let like a one moment on Earth, like one little moment on Earth, like he, basically says like, what was it, like 20 years on Earth is just like, snap of the fingers to them.
For them, yeah.
And he's like, you became so soft. Yeah, so that should be cool. Also, the Ankler is reporting, I don't know how true this is. I hope it is, but my guess would be that it's not.
The what is reporting?
The Ankler reports that Nicolas Cage is in talks to star in a live-action Spider-Man noir series.
Come on.
That's worth a button.
Come on.
Which, I mean,
If it's
Jesus
true.
Christ.
Yep.
Like, all the
true.
websites are taking this as, like it's a legit report. So,
That's
like all the
crazy.
other legit websites. This show would air on Amazon Prime.
He would
I
have all
mean,
the powers of Spider-Man, but he's a detective.
Yes.
Wow.
He's like Batman meets Spider-Man.
Wow.
Yes, please.
Wow.
Where do I sign up?
I can't see this happening. I would love it to happen, but I just don't know.
Well, we don't know how much Nicolas Cage is in the hole. Maybe he needs this.
Yeah. Maybe.
Hopefully.
I mean, we know he needs it.
Yeah.
Hey, if we got Jackman back to do a Deadpool movie, who knows?
Oh, anything's possible.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Nick Cage's box office poisoned now, but this isn't a movie. It's a series on Amazon Prime. Yeah, maybe it could happen.
I don't know about Poison. He's a good
Poison.
second guy now. He can like carry a
So Amazon Prime
supporting role.
has some Marvel rights, I guess.
Well, no, Sony has Spider-Man.
But Sony and
Sony doesn't have a streaming service. Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
But I hate the
gotcha.
show because I've spent all my money on Elvis paraphernalia.
Yep. And then also, we officially have the cast of Fantastic Four. It is confirmed Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards. Joseph Quinn, who played Eddie in Stranger Things, is the Human Torch.
That's cool.
That is cool. Vanessa Kirby from Mission Impossible is Invisible Woman. And then Ebon Moss-Bachrach, I don't know, is that how you pronounce his name? He was from the Punisher series. He's playing the Thing.
I just hate that you like tease us with John Krasinski.
Sure.
Pedro Pascal is one of my favorite current actors, so I'm sure it'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
He's such a great actor, but
Well, you say you sure it'll be fine, but they tried this before. They've had a couple tries with the Fantastic Four.
yeah.
Let's hope so.
could I
But
jump
this is
in?
Feige, right? In that group.
Yeah, Feige, the guy that made She-Hulk.
Well,
The guy that made the Marvels. What else recently?
fair. Could I jump in with a couple Fantastic Four
Secret
things?
Invasion.
Yeah,
go
go.
ahead.
This is kind of on your point. So apparently, Galactus is supposed to be the main villain of this movie,
Right.
And this is important because, like the Transformers movie, okay, Unicron, they're doing Unicron. He's barely in it.
He's
Right.
and he was a butthole.
He was not. He was an asshole.
was a big
yes.
butthole.
A giant
Big
butthole.
asshole.
So if he's actually going to be the main villain, that's a great fucking start.
And he can't be a cloud this time.
Can't be a
he
cloud.
was in-
He's gotta
Did
be-
you see who they're trying to get?
Bardem,
Javier Bardem
Yeah.
to beat Galactus.
that would be really nice.
That'd be great.
But
Yeah.
here's the other thing, though. Apparently, they're saying this movie might be taking place in 1963.
I saw that.
So
Yeah.
I guess that explains why they weren't around for Endgame. They're all dead.
Right, but then how are they around moving forward? Do they just time travel to the
See, that's
future?
the thing. I thought they were going to be creating them now, so with their future Avengers movies and plans, they could be around to be used.
Yeah.
So unless they're going to like get lost somehow and then
You just got to be careful, right?
Yeah, time travel, whatever.
reappear, time travel, something.
But you can't keep going to time travel and then explain why Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans aren't around.
And we also don't know what universe this is either. So I mean,
We don't.
it could be a different.
Look, all those other universes need their Iron Man. So that's why.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Well, again, these are just rumors, right? People are just speculating, so we don't know yet.
We don't know yet, yeah, but that is what we know so far. Also, Samuel L. Jackson did an interview with Empire and confirmed that he would be interested in a Mace Windu series for Disney Plus.
Is there nothing he won't do?
Jackson yelled, "He's still alive, motherfucker!" I added the motherfucker, but no. He's like, he's still alive. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, they
Still
haven't.
alive doing what?
Yeah, I don't know. Missing an arm.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's only been one good Star Wars series, and that's Andor. And Andor just wrapped filming, so that should be coming out, I would guess, later this year.
Season 2 or something?
Season 2, yep. If you haven't watched season 1, you should check it out. It's really good. Again, they make one single TIE fighter like horrifying. It's awesome.
Really?
Like you go watch the old Star Wars, there's 100 TIE fighters, you're not worried, they shoot them, whatever. There's an episode where they're just like trying to hide from a TIE fighter and it comes back and it's like, and you're just like, holy fuck. Like it's awesome. And then also, if you want to see the worst Star Wars film ever made in theaters again, you're in luck.
Oh.
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is returning to theaters in May for its 25th anniversary. Yeah. It feels like it was just yesterday
I
that
saw that shit in theaters.
I saw that movie at 10 a.m. because my fucking nerd friend Steven was like, we have to do the first showing. And then even me as like a 12-year-old or whatever, I was like, what the fuck was this? So excited for Darth Maul. He's barely in it, barely does anything. And then he dies.
Yeah. He's in it and he's gone.
And then it's the fucking star of the movie is the kid from Jingle All the Way, the worst child actor ever.
Wouldn't it be cool to see Darth Vader as a baby? No. No, he's the worst.
Yeah. Then also, Oppenheimer is now available to stream on Peacock.
Sorry, before you continue that. I mean, the biggest thing about Phantom Menace is Star Wars. The biggest thing Star Wars had going when I was a kid in those original series was the fact that the Force could be believed so hard that you can get those powers. And they stole that away from us with the midichlorian. It's like, no, you have to have these other things in your body. So basically, you're born as a Jedi or you're not. It's like, how do you steal that from us?
So the Jedi are like the master race now?
Yeah, that's right. Kind of. It's so stupid.
Oh, well, the biggest difference was that George Lucas wrote the prequels. Whereas he didn't write the script to the original. You know what I mean? That's why the dialogue is just so fucking bad.
Right.
I don't like sand. It's gets that like it's just the most simplistic dialogue. Like you would think a 12-year-old wrote it.
Misa going to go.
Oh my god!
Because we're talking about midichlorians, it reminded me of the worst thing I saw on the internet this week.
Yeah,
and that was the actor that played Emperor Palpatine was talking about
he was
how Emperor Palpatine has sex.
Well, that was from the last what was it? The Rise of Skywalker.
I think so.
Even though there was no rise of any Skywalker in that movie.
No, he says
just named herself Skywalker.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
He does have sex. It's a horrible idea to think of Palpatine having sex in any shape or form.
Okay.
And I was like, why the fuck did I need to think about this?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
There's a video of an audience where like they could tell what's coming. I mean, they're like, what's your name? And she's like, Ray. And it's like, what's your last name? And the whole theater's like, no, don't do it. No. And then she goes, Skywalker. And they go, fuck. Oh, they're so pissed. Like, it was the worst
There's
thing
a reaction
ever.
video of that?
Yes.
Oh, I have to watch that.
It's oh my god! It's like that's one of the hardest things to answer is which is worse, the prequels or the sequels.
I know.
Like it's so hard because they're both so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Like the dialogue is so bad in the prequels that I kind of want to say the prequels, but the sequels just ruin everything about the original trilogy.
You
make Luke Skywalker like the biggest piece of shit ever.
Right.
He was gonna murder his nephew.
Oh, like what?
Yeah.
And then he just forces too hard and dies.
Yeah.
He goes,
I think the sequels are the worst. I think they are.
I mean, I don't think there's a wrong
the
answer.
prequels are kind of funny. You know,
They're really not.
They're funny
Well,
bad.
the prequels
sequels
had-
are just bad.
The prequels had Attack of the Clones. It was the first time we saw Yoda fight. Right, there was some cool
Right,
fight
that was
scenes.
cool, yes, there were
that's
some-
probably the best movie out of the 6 of the before and afters is
Definitely.
Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
But yeah, they finally give us Luke Skywalker back to us in the movies, and we saw Yoda fight, and he could barely walk. Why can't we see Luke and Kylo like really go after it?
No one said
Holy fuck!
No one said it better than Mark Hamill, who said, "You're bringing back all these characters, and they're not going to interact with each other. Luke doesn't
Jesus.
interact with Han Solo again." What?
What?
I feel like the prequels have to take it as the worst because they're just boring.
They're
just
boring.
and
like
I
those
feel like
council
that's,
meetings. Oh my! I love democracy.
Like that's
so bad.
That's got to be the trump card. There is just they're boring.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're just so bad. Anyways, I'm sorry I brought up those old horrible memories.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer is now available to stream on Peacock. I watched it. It was the second time. Only saw it the first time in theaters, and I really enjoyed it more the second time around. I mean, I liked it when I saw it, but now I like it even more. I think it's really well done, and like when you watch it the first time, you're kind of playing catch up. So yeah, I would give it a second try if you didn't really like it that much the first time. Also, Nolan was a guest on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and I guess he was asked about how confusing Tenet is. And Nolan said, "You're not meant to understand everything in Tenet. It's not a puzzle to be unpacked, but an experience to be had." So he's kind of just saying, like, look, there's stuff I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, he's basically saying, I can't even explain it. You know, it's time travel.
Good.
Any time travel movie, you're just supposed to be like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Didn't Nolan recently say that he wanted to make a horror movie too?
Oh, did he? I didn't catch that.
I think so. And I was like, I don't know about that one.
He made Oppenheimer.
Yeah, he sure did.
Horror movie. He also confirmed that he's a huge fan of the Fast and Furious franchise. So there you go.
I don't know. I don't know how to take that.
Yeah. I think he's just, enjoy it for what it is, which we do.
Yeah.
My last thing was Madam Web was released in theaters on Valentine's Day last week. And despite the 6-day opening, because it came out on Wednesday, sorry, it only made $25.8 million. Yeah.
That's not good.
So I've got something on this. So the screenwriters that wrote this movie, they're a team. They've done a lot of movies together. Let me give you some of these.
Yeah.
So starting with Madam Web, 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. Dracula Untold, what? 25%.
Yeah, uh-huh.
The Last Witch. Exactly. The Last Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel, 18%. Morbius with 15%, and Gods of Egypt at 14%. These guys, how do they sell screenplays?
Yeah.
By the way,
How does this happen?
the updated score is 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's the critics' score.
How the flying fuck did the people that wrote Morbius get another movie? Who in their right mind saw Morbius and was like, you know what? I think we need another one just like this, but chicks.
Like this is the worst
fuck?
opening in the history of the Sony Spider-Man universe, aka the SSU.
Nice.
Some people are saying you have to see it, like it's so bad you have to see it, like The Room or something.
It's been going kind of viral. There's been a lot of TikToks I've seen of people like just laughing their ass off coming out of the movie.
I've seen some scenes online, and I think they're right. Like I was laughing so hard watching one of the scenes from the movie.
Do we know if this is in a universe?
It's the Sony Spider-Man universe,
So
like
definitely-
the same as Venom and Morbius, and
And
the same one Michael Keaton showed up
Feel
in at
free
the end
to-
of Morbius.
Feel free to ruin it. Is there any cameos?
No.
None.
It's the
No.
same universe without a Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, how stupid. Like the Joker universe. Well, the Joker
And again,
exists.
it's Final Destination with Madam Web, who Madam Web was never like a 30-year-old girl. She was always like this old woman, this old weird woman.
When this hits streaming, we're going to drink and watch this, right?
I think we have to.
Yeah.
Like when
yeah.
it comes out on streaming, like it might have to be a podcast
In
episode.
2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
I was gonna say, I don't want to contribute to their box office score.
Oh my
But
God.
I'll contribute to their Netflix rating or whatever.
That's gonna be painful. Yeah. God damn. Anyways, what do you guys have?
I thought this is kind of interesting. It's from Pro Football Talk, but apparently Paramount and Comcast are reportedly discussing combining Paramount TV and Peacock.
Paramount Plus and Peacock.
Yes,
Yeah.
which would not only affect TV content but also NFL broadcast rights. So
That's true.
we're
yeah.
starting to see the consolidation. It's happening.
Yep.
Apparently. Netflix CEO, I'm not going to even try to pronounce his name, shared a few thoughts about Squid Game Season 2 at a meet and greet in Seoul. He said, you can look forward to Season 2 delivering a deeper story and messages with new games and new characters. However, there is still no update on will be released.
Okay.
And then lastly, worldofreal.com is reporting that David Fincher is working on a U.S. version of Squid Game,
Oh yeah, that's right. I did see that.
which I don't know why we need a reboot of the Squid Game.
Well, no, not a reboot.
But
It's in English. This one would be in English, obviously.
I don't know why you would need that when the Korean one is doing so well.
It's true, yeah, but some people, I guess, just hate subtitles or English dubs.
I guess. I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird. So,
Right.
no real update on that, but apparently he is still quietly working on the project and that it's most likely going to happen.
All right.
Yep.
Anything else?
Yeah, I got a couple things. So first, a first-person Mandalorian bounty hunter video game is in the works at Respawn. Can you imagine flying around the galaxy fighting giant monsters?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That could be cool.
Sounds amazing.
But then they're like, "Oh fuck, you lost Grogu. Go get him."
I'm hoping there's a version where you could play as Grogu, maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe a version where like you give Grogu to Luke and then that's the end of it because that should have been the end of it.
Should have been the end of it.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Some Punisher news. So apparently Punisher's going to have a significant role in Daredevil Born Again. Apparently he's going to have a subplot where he hunts down dirty cops who are using his symbol.
Okay.
And the third season, apparently on Disney Plus, it's not going to be a big 13-episode season. It's going to be more like 6 to 8 episodes.
Sure.
Which I don't have a problem with. Make them
No.
solid, make them compact.
Right. Yeah.
That's great. And last thing, Henry Cavill has agreed to take on a role in the MCU.
What?
Not
That's-
confirmed who
yeah.
it's going to be, but there's rumors he's going to be Captain Britain,
I don't even know who that is. It's just Captain America, but he's British.
basically.
Isn't that what your chick is?
Oh yeah, Captain Carter.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, we'll see if that comes true. I think that's a big rumor right now, but yeah,
Wow. So Henry Cavill did the flip from DC
maybe. Yeah,
joining the MCU.
He's like, fine, you guys don't want me. All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Go to the MCU. They're better anyway. All right, you guys ready for some surfing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Surfing.
bruh, totally.
Holy shit. This movie starts. Again, I haven't seen this is the first time I'm watching it. We're seeing people surf, and then we're seeing Keanu Reeves like shooting his gun. And we literally go from Keanu Reeves shooting the gun
Right.
to surfers. And I'm
Yes.
like, is he shooting the surfers? Was this like a hint to the rest of the movie? I
That's
don't know.
right. Some symbolism there, right? Some heavy foreshadowing.
Oh boy.
And he's doing target practice, and the guy's like, 100% Utah. And then Keanu Reeves, that's where the thumbs up gif, that
Yeah.
popular gif is from. And yeah, Keanu Reeves plays former NFL quarterback Johnny Utah, who is now an FBI agent. That's real. That's in the movie. That's what happened.
That's canon. Yes.
Which is amazing. Like I was telling Joe and Andrew during the movie, like, can you imagine just RG3 becomes an FBI agent and he's hunting down serial killers?
Right.
That'd be hilarious.
You know, I kind of want to see that movie, Aaron. That sounds. Well, I guess we just watched that.
Yeah. The chief is the asshole doctor from Scrubs. He was also in Office Space. That guy's good, you know. And then this is okay. We hear the line. I forget. I forget who says. No, he says it. The asshole from Scrubs, young, dumb, and full of cum.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
He goes, "Oh, you're young, dumb, and full of cum." I immediately popped because I'm wondering, is this like the origin of that
Is
line?
this-
That is
the
the
origin.
origin. Those goddamn blue flamers.
That'd be amazing if that's the case.
Also, I think that line was Andrew's first clue, like, oh my God, I'm in for a ride here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we have Gary Busey as Keanu Reeves' partner. He's diving for bricks while blindfolded.
I don't know.
I thought you were going to say we have
Even
Gary.
points out how stupid it is.
It was stupid. I thought you were going to say we have Gary Busey playing Gary Busey.
Yeah, basically. And then he's like, oh, I got to partner up with this fucking asshole who doesn't even know how to act. Oh, hey, there he is. Yeah, there you are.
Hey, bruh.
Also, was this the first movie to use ex-presidents' masks to rob banks? I'd like to know that as well.
I don't
we
think
know?
it was.
No, it wasn't.
Good question. I
That
don't
was
know
on the
about
website. I just didn't. I didn't save it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, someone else did it before.
Someone else
this.
did a movie. So yeah, they all stay in character. They do the voices of Reagan and Nixon. They successfully rob the bank, and Nixon moons the crowd before leaving. and his ass cheeks read thank you.
Yeah. And you can see what he had for breakfast.
You could see everything.
So much male asshole in this movie.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, was there 5 scenes in the movie with asshole?
Was it that many?
It seemed like a lot.
A lot of assholes in this movie.
Yeah.
And thankfully, the security camera got a close-up shot of the guy's ass. It was great. And Gary Busey kept going like, zoom in more. Zoom in more.
That was okay. So that was so weird. So they're going back through like the surveillance footage, and they're having like a monologue back and forth.
Yeah.
But like the TV is right behind them, and the asshole is like always in frame
Yeah.
for like 2.5 minutes. You just see an asshole.
Right.
Right.
Zoom and enhance. Zoom and enhance.
And then Keanu and Gary Busey have like this over-the-top shouting match, which was just hilarious to watch. And then Gary Busey's like, I have a theory. They're surfers. Look at the tan lines on that ass.
That's basically all it was.
I've enhanced this as far as it can go, and I see tan line.
Yeah.
This is like coked up Gary Busey. He jumps on the office desk and starts pretending to surf. Amazing. And then Busey tells Keanu like, "Oh, you gotta learn to surf to get in with them. You know, it can't be that hard." Whoa! And the next shot is just Keanu falling,
Just wiping out.
and he is saved by Lori Petty, and he immediately tells her his full name.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, there you go, stupid. What are you doing surfing?" He's like, "My name is Johnny Utah." Okay.
You have to understand the
She
coincidence.
has no idea who Johnny Utah is, though.
No. You have to understand the coincidence here. He's learned the first day he learns to surf
Yes.
on a gigantic beach looking for, they have a theory that the bank robbers are surfers.
Right.
And he runs into the main guy's ex-girlfriend.
Yes.
That is amazing.
So then
You're right.
Keanu Reeves.
Talk about small world. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a fucking huge beach.
Right.
Wow.
So in the next scene, we see Lori Petty changing out of her surfer's uniform. While,
Yeah.
a towel covering her body, right? And
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is hiding behind his car or behind a car or something with binoculars,
Yeah.
watching her change.
First of many, many binocular scenes in this movie.
I don't think there's a movie that's been made that has more binoculars than Point Break. Point Break. Everyone's using binoculars in this movie.
Yes.
Reason one why this movie could not be made today: someone on their cell phone would be calling the police. There's a creeper with binoculars.
Yeah, absolutely. So then Keanu finds out her criminal record, which includes blowing a guy in a car.
Yeah.
Indecent exposure in a car. She either blew him or fucked him, I guess. And then he also finds out that her parents died in a car crash.
Yeah.
So Keanu asks her to teach him to surf, and she hates him. I guess she just hates him because he sucks at surfing. But then he lies to her and says, "My parents also died in a car crash."
Horrible.
And she's like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Yeah.
So now she trusts him. We have a montage of them surfing. And then we see the Bodhi character, played by Patrick Swayze. However,
Yes.
first time we see Bodhi, we see him surfing, and it's like, that doesn't look like Patrick Swayze. Oh, he's getting closer to the camera. Oh, that really doesn't look like Patrick Swayze. And then there's just almost a close-up shot
Yes.
of Patrick Swayze's stunt double.
It's almost exactly a close up of the dude's face. Like he's got a beard.
Yeah,
Jesus.
hilarious.
I'm starting to think it was that guy's asshole we were looking at.
Is that it?
Maybe.
And this
Oh
is
my
a stat
God.
on IMDb. For many of the surf scenes, Patrick Swayze refused to use a stunt double. Not for this one.
Not for that one.
Yep. Sick that day.
I mean, that's what happens when you enhance these movies. Hey, it's HD now. Oh, shit. Now everyone's going to see it's not Patrick Swayze.
Right.
Yeah. So we find out that Swayze's banging Tyler and Utah is sad. And then they decide to play some football, and Bodhi catches the ball, but Utah tackles him into the ocean.
Of course.
Into the ocean they crash, and Bodhi's friends are pissed, but Bodhi says, "Hey, this is Johnny Utah." And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, you're the fucking Buckeye. Yeah, right. Yeah, how did we not recognize you immediately?"
From Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the replacements, where was he from?
Was it Ohio State?
Ohio
as well?
State.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wow.
there's a theory that like all of
same guy.
Keanu Reeves'
It's the same guy.
characters is the same guy in every movie. You
That's
can
all.
make that argument.
Well, sure.
He goes from Point Break to The Replacements.
Yeah.
Then he becomes Neo. Neo turns into John Wick. It's all the same guy.
No, that's right. Because after the replacements, he has to find a full-time job because
Yeah.
he's not in the NFL anymore. So he joins that drone company working on. Oh my God.
The only reason it doesn't work was The Replacements was after The Matrix, but unfortunately,
Maybe at one point, one of those variants was like, make me a quarterback.
maybe
Yeah.
he wanted to go back. So yeah, Utah tells him that he hurt his leg in college, and after 2 years of surgeries, he just missed his window to play in the NFL. Decided to become a lawyer. So there you go. Yeah. Then Utah and Gary Busey get chewed out by their captain, and Keanu Reeves just standing there the whole time holding his surfboard
Yes.
in the office for some reason. Amazing.
He was
I
sticking
just
out of
love-
the car, he said, but so stupid.
He's just getting dressed down by the boss, and he's like,
The police chief is like, the ex-presidents, they robbed 2 more banks. Do you have anything to tell me? He's like, caught my first tube this morning.
tubular, brah.
You're fired. So that's the first time. That's
know
the
what?
first. We should count how
Yeah.
many times you should have been fired.
Right, keep that
that's
track
one.
of that joke.
It's every time he visits his boss.
Every time he does anything.
Yeah.
So then Gary Busey and Keanu take hair samples on the beach and give the worst excuses. I'm making a wig for my girlfriend. Thanks. I saved your life, brah.
Yeah, what are they? I still
There was
really
a crab
understand
on
all
your
this.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got, what did they get the hair samples for?
Well, because they got a hair sample from one of the crime scenes. and
Right.
They were trying to match it to
Match it
where
up.
in the water they were.
Then we have Busey watching Utah crash into another surfer, and the surfer punches Utah in the face. And also, Busey's watching it with binoculars.
Yes, of course.
2 for the binoculars. And then a gang of surfers crowd Utah and tell him, we're going to fuck you up.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Yeah, right.
It
The
wasn't out
lead
of
singer of Red Hot Chili Peppers
right.
is
a
in
great
this.
cameo, but
Yeah.
it wasn't out of nowhere. Andrew, he scuffed his board,
Yeah, bro.
bro.
Scuffed his
You don't
board.
do that.
Scuff the board.
So, hey, kids, make sure you don't surf in the wrong beaches, or surfer Nazis might
Yes,
kill you. They
right.
later confirm they are surfer Nazis.
They're out there.
That's just
They exist.
amazing.
They're real.
No, like in Indiana Jones, there were space Nazis, but here, surfer Nazis.
Surfer Nazis.
Nazis everywhere.
So Bodhi saves Utah, and they beat up the gang together. And then Gary Busey runs up right after the fight, and it's like, oh, fuck, he's about to blow Johnny's cover. But then he's just like, you guys seen a lost kid around here?
Yeah.
While he's holding binoculars and a gun.
This kid,
Hey, guys, I'm looking for a kid.
he escaped
To
my
do what, sir? They should have called the cops on him.
Exactly. Another thing that
Thank
cell
God.
phones would have stopped.
Thank God Bodhi's not too observant.
And then Bodhi tells Utah that, surfing's a state of mind, man. You got to feel the water. All that bullshit.
Yeah.
Then Utah goes to Bodhi's party, and Bodhi sees Utah with Tyler, and he says, hey, man, what's mine is yours. Have at it. But can I watch?
Yeah.
So then they go night surfing, and Utah successfully rides a wave, and I bet he's so excited to tell his boss the next day.
Right.
And then Utah and Tyler have a moment in the water, and they end up kissing, and they end up fucking on the beach
All night.
all night long.
But he's late
He's late for work.
for his big bust.
And you can see poor Lori Petty freezing her ass off. Like her
In that
lower
water
jaw
seat,
is
yeah.
just like trembling.
Right. Keanu shows up late as Busey and some other cops prepare for a raid at the surfer Nazi's house.
Part 2, he could have been fired. Showing up late to your own raid.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
We see like Keanu use something to see inside the house, and he sees a woman taking a shower, and he's just watching that for a little bit. So
Sure.
Busey knocks on the door, and a woman in underwear opens up, and he's like, "You've seen my dog?" So that's his thing. He's always looking for his dog or a child or something.
A dog or a boy. Why is he asking all this? Why don't they just raid? Like, what is all the setup
Yeah,
for?
they're
Right?
letting the Nazis get all of their guns.
Yeah. Just go raid. It's a raid. You don't have to pull some bullshit line.
It's a very poorly executed raid. A shootout ensues. It's pretty brutal. Like Busey shoots a guy in the head, Another guy gets his foot shot off.
Red Hot Chili
That's the
Peppers.
Red Hot Chili
Yeah.
Pepper guy. And then Keanu gets beaten up by the naked woman taking a shower.
Yeah, literally his ass gets kicked.
She kicks his ass. And then Keanu, those two like dumb cops that like they just run at a guy and fall over a table and just like it's just like,
One dude like face plants into the countertop.
it's amazing. So then Keanu fights another guy who tries to force his face into lawnmower blades, but Busey saves him, shoots him, and arrests him. And then we have this little cameo from Tom Sizemore.
Hey, this guy.
He probably wasn't even that famous at the time, right?
I couldn't
That's
think
why-
so, yeah.
But Tom Sizemore shows up and he's like, the classic, like, I was undercover with the DEA. You ruined my case, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Dude, this movie checks off so many of those action movie
Cliche.
cliches.
Yeah.
Love it.
Explain to me how they're robbing banks when they were with me in Fort Lauderdale.
Where they were with me doing meth in Fort Lauderdale.
Doing Nazi shit.
Yeah.
This is where Tom Sizemore started his drug addiction. This is where he did meth with these Nazi surfers. It's a
Damn.
shame.
That's it.
So then, right, he points out they're not robbing the banks. The next morning, Utah wakes up and, he checks his football helmet clock.
Classic.
As any former quarterback would do.
Yes.
As any 10-year-old would do.
10-year-old football helmet clock. Holy shit. Then he sees a surfer mooning everyone, and we get another close-up shot of male asshole.
Yeah.
And that's where Johnny's like, whoa, that's the same butthole.
Wait
Yeah,
a
isn't it-
minute. He gets his ass out?
Imagine
Wait
that.
a minute.
Like the plot point that he finds out who they are because he saw that he recognized his asshole.
Busey's like, hold on, let's take it to the lab and check the tan lines.
Check out the
Can you
asshole.
get a sample of that ass? He has to cut off a little piece.
Yeah.
He gets a lineup of guys. All right, take your underwear off and turn around.
Yeah. Right. So then Utah tells Busey that he tailed them and he saw them scoping out a bank. This was like the, tell, don't show part of filmmaking. Like just the 30-second scene of him, tailing them, seeing them scoping out the bank. So then Utah and Busey, we're just going to call him Busey.
Hold on. They think that these are the bank robbers now.
Yeah.
He watches them basically look at a bank, like watch
Right.
over, and he's still like, trust me, I think I'm right on this.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
yeah,
then-
obviously they're the bank robbers.
And then Busey's like, well, what if they were just going to cash a check? It's like, dude, did you see his
they're
butt?
casing the joint. Come on.
I don't know. I've never taken 4 friends with me to go cash a check.
Right.
But, that's me.
Well, banks were, it was different back then. You kind of always had to go to the bank.
Oh, that's true. And you'd have cell phones. So, yeah, maybe you need to take your friends with you.
So Johnny and Busey stake out a bank and I guess do the worst job any cops have ever done in a stakeout in movie history.
Like if he says, Johnny, you go get the sandwiches, you got to be looking.
yeah.
You can't be, and he just pulls a giant paper in the middle
As soon as they start the stakeout, the ex-presidents immediately show up to rob it. But Johnny's busy buying food and Busey's reading the newspaper like, fuck.
the comics.
The comics section. Oh, what's
Garfield up to today?
Oh my God. So then they see the ex-presidents leaving the bank and there's a car chase. Busey crashes into them and the ex-presidents run over tire spikes from a parking lot. The ex-presidents go to a gas station. They rob a new car and they set their old car on fire. And
Nice scene.
Johnny tackles Reagan and they fall onto the fire. And Reagan's on fire for a little bit. And because it's HD, again, like you could see where they put the flame retardant. Like, that was great. So then Johnny chases after Reagan on foot. They run through some houses, people
It's
like,
a cool chase
hey!
scene. Yeah.
It's a cool chase scene. One guy's like, hey, fuck you. And he throws his dog. Just throws his dog on Johnny.
And Johnny just like kicks the dog off.
Yeah.
No, Bodie's the one who throws the dog.
Oh, Bodie did?
Yeah,
Oh,
Bodie
okay,
threw the
I missed
dog.
Bodie
that.
throws the fucking pit
Sorry,
bull
I
at
thought it
him.
was one of the homeowners.
But-
that would have been funnier.
But I want to put this chase scene up there, like one of the top chase scenes in like cinema
good.
history.
It's good.
It's just great. They're like running through like tiny alleyways, going through fucking houses, like all over the city.
It's good.
It's
I
like-
wouldn't call it one of the best.
Come
Josh.
on, it's Grand Theft Auto level types of running
it's
around.
Funny. I did like think as the I was like, this is kind of like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
especially towards the end where they're running, you know. But yeah, Utah jumps down from something and he hurts his surgically repaired knee. Ah! At least they did that. Because the whole movie I'm like, wait, you can't play football anymore because your knee's fucked up, but you could surf, you could sprint, you could do all this shit. At least he finally hurt his knee. And then Johnny points his gun at Reagan, who's climbing a fence, but then we get a close-up of Reagan's eyes, and it's Bodie!
Well, yeah.
And Johnny can't bring himself to shoot Bodie, so instead he shoots into the sky and screams,
Murdered 3 kids in the process.
amazing.
Scene of the movie.
Oh, that's so good. So Bodie tells his boys about Utah. Some of them want to run. Some are like, we got to kill him. And Bodie's like, I have a worse idea. Those other
Way
two
worse.
ideas were really good. We could
Yes.
just kill him. We could run. Or I have this really bad idea. Really, really stupid, bad idea.
Most of you may die. But that's a risk.
All
I'm
of
willing
you
to
are going to die. Yeah. So then Busey calls out Utah for being too close to the surfers. Johnny was like, I missed. And he's like, no, we don't miss. You know?
Which is hilarious because as soon as he says freeze FBI, he starts firing his weapon and misses everybody.
Right.
As soon as he starts, the first thing he does, he kind of misses.
Yeah. Then Johnny tries to tell Tyler the truth, but he can't do it. And then soon after that, Johnny wakes up to Tyler shooting at him.
Shooting at him.
Like this scene wants you to think that this is Bodie coming for him to kill
course.
him in his sleep. But then it's like, oh no, it's just his girlfriend shooting at him.
Yeah.
Thank God she knows how to miss.
By the way,
Was she trying to miss?
Bodie didn't tell her. She found his FBI badge.
Yeah.
Hey,
Great
bitch.
job.
Hey, bitch, get out of my shit. Like, why are you going through my shit?
Not only
It's
that,
Johnny Utah. He probably just left it on the counter.
Yeah, right.
right? He can't hide it a little bit more if you're
Yeah.
undercover.
Come on,
Exactly.
Especially when the girlfriend that you have is the ex-girlfriend of the person you're chasing.
Yes.
You might want to do just a little bit more,
Right.
hiding things.
Nope.
I thought she would have been more like involved. Like it would have been cool if she was one of the bank robbers. Because the love story they told between them was not very good.
No.
It was like barely even established, you know?
Right.
But like, she's like, are your parents really dead? And he's like, they live in Atlanta. She's like, you motherfucker. And she runs away and he tries to chase after her, but his knee buckles. Oh, my knee. Oh, no. Then Bodie shows up with his boys, acting like everything's cool. And it's like, okay, you went back to your apartment.
Yeah.
Knowing they know who you are and they know where you live.
Right.
You went back to your apartment.
Yep.
That's fucking genius. That's hilarious.
And then he goes with them.
He's like, come on, man, we gotta go. And Johnny's like reaching for his gun. And then Bodie's like, come on, man. He's like, oh, fuck, I can't bring my gun.
Hot theory: he didn't want to get the gun because they love each other, and he knew he couldn't do it.
It's true.
Knew he couldn't do it.
Deep love.
There's a way better love story between Bodie and Johnny.
Yeah.
Than
100%.
Johnny and Tyler. Like, way better.
It's like Die Hard.
Yeah.
The love story was John McClane and the Family Matters dad.
Oh, my God, right?
So Bodie takes him skydiving, and Utah doesn't trust that Bodie gave him a chute that works, so they keep switching the bags around, and he's still on shore, and finally he's like, we gonna jerk off or jump? And Bodie's like, both. We're gonna jump and then jerk each other off.
Right.
Last to come doesn't pull their chute. So they jump, they eventually get in a circle, and Johnny's having the time of his life. It's just like, it feels like a 5-minute scene. Maybe it's not that long. It felt like forever. It's like the entire length of a skydive was this scene. And like, it's just Keanu Reeves going like, yeah, like over and over again.
Right.
This is awesome, dude.
It was so long.
Not even knowing if his shoot's going to work.
No.
He might be falling to his death
Oh
right
yeah, bro, it's so cool.
now. If you're going out, this is the way to go, bro.
And they were being super dicey about the parachute packs.
Yeah.
They were like, well, you take this one. No, take this one. How about this one?
Yeah, this one's better. And like as we're doing, it's like, oh, this is kind of like a smart plan. You know, give him a shoot that doesn't work and splat. Whoops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, that's not
No.
what Bodie does.
No.
He has an even stupider plan. It's one of the dumbest plans in movie history. So the other guys pull their chute, but Utah grabs Bodie because he doesn't trust him. And then Bodie pulls Utah's chute, and it works. And they land 2 seconds later. They all land safely. And then this is where Bodhi's big plan, which, what was the point of skydiving? Just to scare him? You know, in the end, like, why
Build
even...
trust. Build trust, bro.
Okay. So Bodhi shows Johnny a video of Tyler gagged and tied to a chair. And Johnny starts attacking Bodhi, but Bodhi says she'll be fine as long as I meet my guy at a certain place and time, which means you gotta, keep me safe until then. And Johnny's like, fuck, okay. So Bodhi forces Johnny to rob a bank with him. And Johnny's like, I can't do it, Bodhi. This is your wake-up call. I am an FBI agent.
I am an FBI agent.
Bodhi's like, that's what makes it so fun.
Yeah.
So they all put on masks, but they don't let Johnny wear one,
Uh-oh.
which seems like it'd be a huge problem.
Yeah.
Bodhi tells his boys to open the vault, even though they never do that.
Uh-oh.
And Johnny tells Bodhi, you're blowing it, man. You're you can do it.
You're breaking your own rules. So good.
So turns out one of the customers is a cop. So he gets up and shoots Bodhi, but he's wearing a bulletproof vest, so he's okay. Then Johnny tells the cop that he's undercover, but he gets shot anyway.
Pop, yeah.
Again, he's wearing a bulletproof vest.
Thank God this cop doesn't shoot people in the head.
No, thank God. Bodhi gets up and shoots the cop dead, but then we find out that his little brother was shot dead. Which I don't know if they ever mentioned that
They
it was his
never
brother.
established that.
But then
don't
he's
think
like,
so.
hey, little bro. And it's like, oh, I guess it was his brother. Okay.
And online it shows they have the same last name.
It just says that he was his little brother in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So where was Bodhi's head at in wanting to do the vault? Was it him knowing, okay, we're not going to be able to come back and do this next year, so we need to take one last score so we
guess.
can retire in Mexico?
Yeah.
Is that why he wanted to break from his...
I think so. This is it.
I thought it was not only that, but they also had an extra person with Utah, and that maybe the extra person might give him a little bit extra time.
That didn't help.
It obviously
didn't
did
help.
not help, but that was my thinking. That was my
Yeah.
thinking.
So Bodhi's pissed. He knocks Johnny out with his gun, and Bodhi and his boys leave. Of course, Johnny gets arrested because they all assume he's part of the robbery.
Finally,
since no one
arrested.
approved that he go along with this robbery, right? And cops died. It's like, again, he should be fired, arrested, everything.
Oh, for sure.
But Busey knocks out his chief for being a dick, and he takes Johnny with him and immediately frees him from his handcuffs.
Action cliche number 75, punching out the
Punching
shit-ass...
the boss. Oh, yeah.
Punching out the
Punching the
shit-ass chief.
Yeah. So Johnny tells Busey that Bodhi's going to the airport, but they can't shoot him or arrest them. And Johnny shows up just as they're about to board the plane. Johnny tells Bodhi that he'll let him go if he tells him where Tyler is. And this whole time, Busey was hiding, but hiding very poorly, because one of Bodhi's boys sees him. The guy shoots Busey, but Busey fires back. And then Busey tries to shoot Bodhi, but Johnny steps in front of him. He's like, don't shoot, don't shoot.
I love this man.
Busey's like, move, move. And this moment allows the bad guy to shoot Busey in the back multiple times.
Damn.
Gary Busey dies because of Johnny Utah.
Johnny, what are you doing, bro?
You're fired. You should be in jail for so many crimes at this point.
Asshole.
It's unbelievable.
Fired again.
So then Bodhi makes Johnny go with him, and the plane takes off as the cops arrive. Bodhi plans to parachute into Mexico to escape, which is actually pretty cool. Bodhi radios into his guy who has Tyler. Johnny begs Bodhi to let Tyler go, but he won't do it. First, Bodhi's guy jumps out of the plane, and then Bodhi tosses Johnny the gun, and he jumps out of the plane, which you pointed out, like they actually did that shot of Patrick Swayze
Yeah,
jumping
he's done
out
a
of the
lot
plane.
of jumps. I think 55 in his lifetime. So they're like, fuck it, let's just
damn.
shoot this.
Okay.
So that's a really cool shot.
Interesting.
Very Tom Cruise-like.
Right.
Yeah, so with no shoot, Johnny Utah just yells, fuck it, and jumps out of the plane.
Grabs the gun,
Grabs the gun,
Yes.
jumps out of the
jumps
plane.
out of the plane,
Fuck it.
which is like, that was like Fast and Furious before Fast and Furious. Like that's something Vin Diesel would do or something.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Vin Diesel would totally be in a car, just like, okay, I'll just out of the car.
Yeah. So Johnny ends up catching up to Bodhi while in the sky. Johnny points a gun to Bodhi's head, and he's like, pull the chute. pull the chute or I'll kill you. Okay. But Bodhi, catches his bluff. He's like, you better shoot me or drop the gun and pull my chute. And Johnny, once again, can't shoot him. And he drops the gun, pulls the chute, and they land safely, of course, 1 second later.
Well, yeah. At least they show them hit the ground hard.
Yeah.
Turning them both into meat pancakes.
Yeah.
Meat waffles, I think
Meat
he
waffles
said.
is what it was.
We're going to turn them meat waffles. Oh, boy. Meanwhile, Bodhi's other friend dies from blood loss. And then Bodhi tells Johnny, looks like you're not going to get your man. And he's like, fuck, I really want this man in more ways than one.
It's also very homoerotic.
Absolutely.
It's like acid in your mouth, bruh.
Yeah. So Bodhi lets Tyler go and she runs to Johnny. They embrace and Bodhi tells Johnny, I'll see you in the next life before driving away. Before taking the tiny bag of money from his dead friend and driving away.
Lori Petty tries to shoot him. Then, because of him, gets kidnapped and tied up and almost died. She runs to him and she's like, I love... And he's like, shh, another time.
Yeah.
You love this guy?
Shh, I'm looking at Bodhi.
Yeah. Right.
So some time passes and we see Johnny in Australia because earlier in the movie, Bodhi mentioned the storm in
The
Australia
50-year storm.
that he wants to ride.
Once in a lifetime.
Yeah. And Johnny sees Bodhi and he drops the Reagan mask at his feet and says, lose something, brah.
Bruh.
Which might be his worst line of the whole movie.
Absolutely.
Lose something, brah. Johnny tells Bodhi he's been just missing him everywhere he went. He's like, I missed you in Mexico and I guess your friend, what was it, Rosie or whatever?
Yeah.
Like picked a knife fight and lost.
Yeah.
And then I missed you in fucking Brazil or whatever it
I think he
was.
says I had lunch at Roadhouse.
Oh, he did?
There's a
Oh,
lot
that's
of
funny.
references that I'll get into a little bit later.
Yeah.
From all the different movies they've been in.
Thought it was kind of interesting that an FBI agent had this much pull that he could just... The jurisdiction was pretty much anywhere.
Oh, my God.
This is his first and only job, we find out.
That's
Yeah.
right, because of
This
what
is first
happened
and only case.
immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
We should have found out that he was just mentally ill and really he was just like in an insane asylum and he was dreaming this entire experience.
And he's just like on a surfboard on the floor. Like, yeah, man.
His bed is his surfboard.
I got it. This
Yeah.
is all the Matrix.
This was the Matrix. Johnny tells Bodhi, you're going down. People trusted you and they died.
How it's gotta be.
At this point, I said, if they start surfing together,
Oh, Joe and I
I'm
were
gonna
like,
lose
oh my God.
my
Oh my gosh.
shit.
We paused the movie. We're
Close.
like, Andrew, what happens next?
Yeah.
It's like, if they start fucking surfing and it just ends with them surfing and then it's the classic 80s freeze frame credits,
Or they're
that
like,
would have been amazing.
like right, they're on their boards and like you just see them like
About to kiss.
they're
Free-
about
freeze.
to make out.
Freeze frame, high five.
Yeah.
On the boards, they're looking at each other. Let's do it, brah. And they ride off into the sunset.
No, yeah.
Brody, you're breaking my balls, bro.
So they start fighting, and Bodhi starts drowning Johnny, but Johnny handcuffs himself to Bodhi, and that makes Bodhi stop drowning him. Could have just
Well,
kept drowning him, but I guess he loves him too.
Right.
Even earlier, he's like, man, I'm not violent. I don't, that's why I gotta have my friend do everything. So Johnny tells him, I told them you'd go quietly. And a police helicopter shows up. Bodhi says, I can't handle a cage, man. And Johnny says, but you gotta go down on me.
Yeah.
Right now, before they come.
Right now.
This is our last chance.
So then Bodhi begs Johnny to let him ride the wave just one time before going to jail. And Johnny pauses, he thinks about it, and then he uncuffs him.
He goes, you know what? You deserve this.
Yeah,
You deserve to get what you want.
right. He's like, I'm not going to surf to New Zealand. And for a moment, Johnny's like, should we surf to New Zealand together?
Sounds amazing.
He lets him go. The police yell at Johnny, you let him go! And Johnny says, no, I didn't. Another police officer says, we'll get him when he comes back. But Johnny says, he's not coming back. And Bodhi rides the huge wave, but he crashes
Like almost immediately.
immediately.
Dies.
And we don't see him again.
Right.
And then Johnny tosses his badge in the ocean, even though they fired him 6 months ago.
case, one and done. That's it.
He's on the run.
Yeah.
Like Bodhi was number 1 on the wanted list. Johnny's number 2 on the wanted. He's now number 1.
yeah.
And then cut to black. Wow.
Amazing.
What a movie.
Perfection.
Perfection.
I mean, I feel like you're joking about perfection, but it is perfection.
How did they not make a sequel where it's like
I'm telling
Bodhi
you.
lived?
Not only that, not Bodhi. Okay, Bodhi died, but we find out that Keanu is actually taking his place
He's robbing banks in
with
Australia.
Lori.
I'd rather just Bodhi survived. That would be great.
Yeah.
It's the sequel we deserved.
20th Century Fox had plans to make a sequel 2 years later. The script had been written and was in pre-production, despite the film grossing $90 million worldwide, which is great back then.
Yeah.
The studio declined and scrapped the project.
Someone, either Swayze or Keanu, probably had to have turned it down for that to happen.
I was
Like,
going
why
to
would this?
say, because this was pretty well received when it came out, right?
I think so.
I think most people seem to like
Like you
it.
said, it made a ton of money.
90
Yeah.
million's a lot.
90 million in 91.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What else?
Johnny Utah became an FBI agent after a knee injury ended his football career. In real life, Keanu Reeves was supposed to be an aspiring hockey player, but he suffered a knee injury. And Patrick Swayze also suffered a serious knee injury playing football. So that's kind of realistic for both of them.
Wow.
And then, let's see. The original film was called Johnny Utah when they got Keanu Reeves. Studio felt that this title said very little about surfing since they wanted it to be more about surfing. And then Patrick Swayze was cast, and it had been renamed Riders on the Storm after the famous song by The Doors. The lyrics had nothing to do with the film, so that title was also scrapped. And about halfway through filming, they figured out Point Break.
You know what I would love to know is like what percentage of the movie is just shots of people surfing? Because it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's gotta
like-
be 15, 20%.
I feel like this movie could have been 90 minutes if they just didn't show 30 minutes of surfing. Like there's so many shots of surfing.
Even the
It's like,
Johnny
we
learning-
get it. We get it.
The Johnny
They're
learning
surfers.
montage was like 15 minutes. It seemed
Yeah.
like.
Those, and then the 3-minute skydiving scene too.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Apparently, James Cameron rewrote the final script with Catherine Bigelow because they were married, but he's
wow.
uncredited with that.
Yeah. Nice.
And what else I got here? Bodhi wore the Reagan mask and is the only member of the ex-presidents that isn't shot. In real life, he's the only president that got shot. That was kind of funny.
Oh, interesting.
I guess, they don't count the bulletproof vest,
Yeah.
right?
Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's it. Patrick Swayze originally auditioned for Johnny Utah before getting Bodhi. Matthew Broderick was originally offered the role of Johnny Utah. That would have been a very weird casting.
Yeah.
Others who auditioned were Johnny Depp, Charlie Sheen, Willem Dafoe, and Val Kilmer.
I could see Johnny
Wow.
A younger Willem Dafoe. Apparently, like, he was really high on their list, too.
Yeah.
So,
But still, like, Willem Dafoe could never play, like, the main character, like, the good-looking ex-quarter.
I don't
know what
think
I mean?
so, yeah.
Like, I've seen him in his younger days. He was never a handsome guy.
I think I could see Willem Dafoe as Bodhi, maybe.
Oh, it's Bodhi?
Yeah,
It's Bodhi, maybe.
maybe.
Yeah, he can do the bad guy thing, yeah.
Right.
Of course.
So I thought this was interesting. I'm definitely not going to read it because it's like 8 pages long. But there's a PhD professor that actually wrote a paper about this movie called Young, Dumb, Full of Cum, Point Break's Homoerotic Haze in 5 Acts.
Yeah.
A PhD professor wrote a paper about this fucking movie.
Yeah. Is he still a professor?
Yeah,
what I
still
wanna know.
professor. A professor somewhere in Canada.
Right. Well, what do you want to rate this movie?
It's a 9.
It's
Easy.
not a 9.
It's a 9 for me.
It's a 10?
It's not a 10.
I mean, it's just, what are we rating it as? That's the question.
As a fun action movie, the only thing missing is shirtless volleyball. It's an 8.5. It's an 8.5 for me.
Really, as a movie, I'd probably say it's a 7 as a movie. It's just so dumb it's fun, but I can't give that a high rating. It's definitely rewatchable. I've probably watched scenes from this movie 100 times when they're on TV.
I mean, in terms of like enjoyability, laughing at how bad it is, I'd say I had like an 8 out of 10 in terms of like laughing at it.
But just as a critic, what did you rate the
4.
4.
And
Probably
as a,
4,
And as
yeah.
a surfing movie?
A 10. It's a 10 out of 10 a surfing movie.
10.
I don't think there's more surfing in any other movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. All right, let's do some fan questions.
Oh boy.
Let's see what they have to say about this. Let's see. Dylan says, Aaron, Talladega Nights, please fuck. Well, we got to do that soon for sure. Talladega Nights.
Because
Yeah,
you haven't
I-
seen that.
No, not yet.
Oh man.
Yeah. Bill Capri, assume you guys are going to rob a bank. Who would take which role? Leader, mastermind of the group in charge of demolition and hacking. The leader's in charge of hacking, grabs the cash. Enforcer, muscle of the group and in charge of the crowd control. KOs the security guard with the butt of his gun.
That's
Getaway driver, plans the escape, has excellent driving skills and composure, helps the leader grab the cash in the bank. Wild card, helps with small tasks and assists the enforcer with crowd control, almost screws up the whole heist, most unpredictable person in the group,
Josh.
and then moons everyone. No.
Josh would be the driver and leave us all stranded.
yeah. I thought I,
was
saw
kind of
something.
thinking wild card myself. but-
Josh is the wild card that would ruin the heist.
No, almost ruined the heist. Almost. But then we
Sure.
get away.
Yeah.
Wild card, bitches.
Well, we know that much. Yeah. I like driving. I could be the getaway driver.
Yeah. I'd
And
probably
then
come up
I've
with
seen
the
the way you
plan.
drive. I
Joe
agree.
yeah, and then Aaron's the muscle. So you got to start working out.
Hit people. Ah, you have a gun. Just hit them with it.
Yeah, there you go. Carlos Ramirez, how about a Patrick Swayze run of reviews? Ghost next, or is that too scary for Josh? Or that one movie about Patrick Swayze in drag with Wesley Snipes?
Oh, Tu Wong Fu.
Wong Fu.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I have no interest in watching Ghost again.
Ghost
No.
was so emotional. I don't know if I could do that emotionally.
You had to have been scared.
I was
Ghost.
terrified. So
I
yes.
remember as a young child, I was scared of those like black
Yeah, only when the bad
those
guys
ghosts.
die.
Yeah,
When
that
the-
Like where they come and drag you away.
Yeah, the
That
Satan
was
guys.
that was a rough scene when you were little. How many action movies did Swayze really do? Like he
Well,
did-
Ghost is not action, yeah.
like he did
This
Point
and
Break.
Roadhouse.
He did
Done.
Roadhouse, and there's this other smaller one he did with Liam Neeson, Next of Kin, I think.
Oh, I wanna
very
see that.
like direct to video shit. But I can't really think of any others.
No.
Right. Laura Payton, hopefully Deadpool 3 can begin with the last scene of Secret Invasion. Then Deadpool wakes up and says, wow, that was a shit show of a dream. Meaning that it never happened. We don't have to talk about it ever again.
That's good.
Maybe you could undo what Secret Invasion did in the TVA.
Either that or watching She-Hulk, like, oh my god, no,
Dude,
that's
they
terrible.
need, I mean, Deadpool is so self-aware. They almost have to make fun of something in the MCU. You know what I mean?
would think so.
There's got to be multiple jokes.
he's Marvel Jesus.
Yeah. Joey Cage, also, holy shit, Madam Web broke me. How is that piece of shit film released for people to see? Should have pulled a Batgirl and 90s F4 and canceled that fucking movie.
It is crazy. I mean, when you talk about, like they've scrapped movies recently. What was the one that they scrapped? Was it
Batgirl.
they scrapped?
And then the
Looney
Looney Tunes
Tunes,
movie.
yeah. Right.
That everyone was like, that's actually really good, and they fucking scrapped it.
John Cena plays a lawyer.
They said they shopped it around. No one wanted it, so they're just literally going to delete it.
They wanted
It's being
$90 million
deleted.
for it. I
It's
mean,
being deleted to never
Madam
be
Web
seen.
isn't going to even make $90 million.
No.
Think about this. Batgirl will never be seen. Michael Keaton's in Batgirl as Batman. Michael Keaton also is in Aquaman 2 as Batman. So we'll see if the deleted scenes come out where they... That's got to be the selling point of the Blu-ray, right? Buy the Blu-ray with deleted scenes, Michael Keaton. They have to put that in there.
Has to be.
Although maybe we shouldn't see it if he was.
Why would they delete those scenes?
Because that was supposed to come out before Flash, and then by Flash coming out first, it ruins like his scenes in Aquaman.
That and they decided they wanted to pivot away. They did the Clooney thing.
Yeah. PCJ, I fucking love this movie. Andrew, why did you wait so long to watch it? Next, we need y'all to give us a review on Roadhouse. Could even be a hogwash. What's wrong with wrestling crossover since we have the legendary Terry Funk in it? Terry
right.
Funk's in Roadhouse?
Yeah.
Does he have like lines and stuff?
He's a bad guy, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Also, if you ever did a group skydiving experience, I could totally see you guys reenacting the past the parachute scene, but with Josh as Johnny Utah.
boy.
That'd be good.
We should do Roadhouse at some point.
Maybe.
Omar, meow meow. I want you to suffer and watch Madam Web, damn it. I mean, it could happen. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's in the books, probably.
Right.
Andy Piccone, it may be the most underrated movie of all time. It's perfect. That's bold. If you guys were robbing banks, what group of people would you dress as?
Oh, Avengers.
It'd be wrestlers. No,
Wrestlers.
Like
Make it
wrestlers.
Make it
Wrestlers.
super obvious and make it wrestlers.
Oh, right. I'd be Ryback.
You're
Yeah, of
Ryback,
course.
Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, Ultimate Warrior for Aaron.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, we
And,
already know who these guys are. These fucking idiots dressed up as their favorite wrestlers.
Andrew,
We-
and
take
they
off
do
your
a
mask.
podcast where they talk about their favorite wrestlers.
We'd get caught because the Bassano brothers would be fighting over who gets to be HBK.
We've been given, we're giving like the bank tellers stunners and super kicks and stuff.
We could have Eric Hamilton come and he could be as Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. Yeah, there you go.
right.
His favorites. All right. Yeah, that's all for fan questions. So make sure you subscribe to our podcast. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Hollywood Hog Pod. Become a supporter of the show. Get bonus episodes at patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. We have the best best action hero bracket is now available on there. We also have hottest 90s crush and best TV intro of all time.
Right.
Those are all brackets. And we also have a ton of TV shows that we've reviewed on there. So go check it out. Patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. And we'll see you next time.
We're gonna now watch the pitch meeting for this.
Oh, yes.
This movie.
Yes, absolutely.